Hello?
Who's that?
Ah, you can hear me. It's Marley. It works.
Hi, Marie. At last we got you.
Hi, Mr. My,
You have a nice voice. You're welcome. We've seen your videos. We've seen the video you made. Could you enlighten us?
You've been letting me all this time. I'm a little bit tired. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Um, but I don't want to jump in. I know there's others.
No, no, no,
I
no.
just
We need
wanted.
you to, we want you to jump in. That's why we invited you. The young generation is the backbone of the foundation work. So you bring a fresh, what I call life to us, and we'll see. We're a bunch of old men and practical people. We're going to see what the new generation sees. Your video is totally different than what we see. We see very harsh pictures and presentations. You brought us a different kind of looking at things. We need more young people to come up. I've got a couple of young people in the background who aren't like you. Explain to us what you've seen and how you came to it.
Okay. Before, unfortunately, I'm having technical issues, and I'm sure it's the energy. Everything always seems to be in synchronicity with whatever. But I've been trying to put a lot of things together, and so I've had every kind of issue. But my battery on my phone, even though it's plugged into the wall, it's only got 4% left. So I will share what I can with you. I just want to tell you I'll thank you, and the support from every single one of these brilliant scientists and people that are venturing in. I'm just so touched, and I just want to say thank you publicly, because I haven't really ever found a group like this, and I'm quite surprised that I found it in a group of science. I love science, but I'm more started my journey in, well, I've always been a spiritual person, and I basically, I was raised in a very strict religious background, but I've always hungered for knowledge, and it's just been, I reached the top where I couldn't find the answers anymore in that system, and so I did leave, and it's been a little bit rocky road to leave your whole family and go be the black sheep, is what they call me. So.
Let me explain your background if you want to explain it, or you want to keep it separate.
Well, I was born LDS Mormon, which is I consider it my foundation and my kindergarten, and I don't want to say that in a way that it would devastate my family to hear me say that. So I don't want to go too much in that, because I do honor
No,
it.
we respect that. I know. It's just that we wanted to know what your background is. We understand the situation where you stand. How did you come across the work we do, and how have you applied it?
I'm sorry, how did I come across the what?
How you came across the work of the Keshe Foundation, and how did you apply it, please?
All about synchronicity. I work with spirit, and in a way in which I can just ask, and it leads me to the next
Can
thing.
you freeze the picture there, please, Rick? Don't stop it there. Yeah, carry on. Carry on, please.
Okay. That night, I had created the GANs that day. I was so excited to see it. When I started my journey into this technology, I knew immediately that the things that I was learning through this was exactly the same things that I learned in 5 years of different types of studies in mystery schools and things, but learning about the science of creation. And this happened to line exactly right up with it. And so I knew that this was life when I saw it. And and I was intrigued immediately. So when I finally got to the point, and believe me, it took me a while to prepare and get my life in order to the point where I would allow myself to take that first step to even nano code. And so because I'm more of like a whole brain thinker or visionary, the left brain part, you know, the step by step with the concepts and things, I'd never really paid much attention to that. But what I wanted was to find the answers for people, because I taught spiritually for a long time in different ways. Even as a personal trainer, I tried to bring that into that and teach them about their bodies and how their bodies were holding back results and things from their emotional systems and things like that. So anyway, coming back to the plasma, the GANs, this is an answer. This is an answer to finally help people because it was a little bit too hard for them to grasp, and so I wanted something material, something physical that could bring the answer to the pain and all of the cries for, of people starving and people, the war, and I know that light is in every soul, that we are all connected, is what I believe. And so the night I'm sitting there, and I'd been adoring it all day anyway, and put it in this beautiful bottle that I went and bought just for it. And anyway, I work grave nights at
This is a GANs you're talking about. In the bottle.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture now, and I'm thinking about how that happened. And the thing is it happened by itself. I just was sitting on the couch, and it was on the table. There was a light on in the room, but it was a dim room, you can tell there. It just caught my attention, obviously, because it was like glowing. And I always just see, like, when I see something, I feel it. I can feel it within my own self. And so as I gazed at it, it almost seemed like it was growing. And so I wanted to take a picture of it. And I did, and it didn't look exactly like I wanted, like what I could see. So I came in closer, and the closer I got, I noticed this blue light just shooting right out the bottom. And that caught my attention immediately. I just was with it. And when I was asked to conceptualize it, I realized that I lost that feeling. And so what I've come to understand for myself about that is that it's almost like the key to consciousness for me is to actually not conceptualize it, but to lose the concept and become one with it, and then you feel it in yourself, and you're a part of it. And it just seemed to like I can look at clouds, and they do that sometimes, or into crystals, and they'll be cloudy and you can't see anything in it, but then suddenly it starts to open up, and you can just connect to that energy. And so I just feel like that's how that experience felt for me, and it was very peaceful and spiritual.
Do you see the light? Have you managed to repeat the light, what you photographed?
Yes, I did, but not in the same circumstance. I had to, I got a flashlight, and see, this is when I started getting into more of the concepts and, well, how did that happen, and recreating it. And it wasn't the same as that, but it was similar, because the light didn't grow from it's not, I feel like the GANs absorbed the light that was in the room, and the light that it is in you or me, and can feel that and connect in, because that's plasma, it's a living essence. I'm sure, So I just am loving the way that this research and experiment is actually connecting to the very things that teach me about myself and my creator. And the closer I get to it, electrons and things like that are symbols to me of the planets and the sun and what we're from and made of. So when I'm trying to explain this to people, my friends and people in my circles, they at first, they really just, it was falling on deaf ears. People didn't really understand what I was talking about. But when I bring up, free renewable energy, something that you don't have to plug into the grid for eventually, it's like, it's the next step, it's the shift, and everything is definitely showing up to begin to wake them up a little bit in there's something that they can also do about it and their health. I'm really excited to try to help needles on the front.
I know some people told you this is the reflection of the light from bottom of the glass. Do you know where you see the light? Do you see it at the bottom of the glass, or do you see it at the water level between the gans and the water?
I felt the light, and I mean, I can't say that the light, it was like it was as though sun was shining. If you were above the clouds and the sun was shining down into the clouds, that's how it looked, and it looked like, it was so fluffy, and still it was like moving in its own. It wasn't moving, but it was not flat. Like right now, it's all condensed, kind of down in the bottom, And
can you expand on this to develop it further to see if we can carry on repeating, making light through these cups?
I guess so, but it feels like when I try to conceptualize it, when I try to put an agenda on it, that it's more difficult. I've realized that the past few days as I've been trying to pull things together instead of taking the process bit by bit and letting it teach me as I go. Then it seems to sort of move out of that experience. And what was, I found something, a great teacher that I'd studied with, says, let's see, I'd like to read something what he said about that process of what it is when you're, that's what I love, is when I have a question, I'll just be led right to it. And so even the troubles like I had tonight, connecting and realize, just relax and let the flow happen, and it will all happen. Perfect flow. But I think misplaced it because I could just kind of talk here with the. Do you mind if I read just the paragraph?
Go ahead.
As in what I've given about essence of consciousness is the key to everything, the key and its application. It really sounds simple, but it's not as simple as it sounds. You have to abolish every concept of it. That includes the concept as essence. You merely use the highest form of concept we have to approach the point of non-concept. There is only one book. And that made sense to me because that was sort of what my experience was from the experience of it, and then needing to explain it because I don't come from the scientific background to be able to have the conceptualization of experience. Now, I do have the ability that after meditations and things, something that I never understood, but I began to see bright blue light blue, like indigo lights on every edge and side of every single material thing. So it's not like an aura. And then on the other side, it was bright goldish red. And it was troublesome for a while because it was really messing up my eyesight and being able to. I've never had so many technical difficulties.
No, it's nice to have you, and it's nice to learn, because we
Thank you.
get involved in too much materialistic condition. It's good to bring some different dimensions into the teaching, which is mainly the young generation work in that field.
Yeah, but your speech, you speak to like this teacher that I'm reading from right now. It's very what you say is like when you might be writing on the board a whole graph of a reactor and setup and things, and you'll say the answer is right here, but you're looking here, but it's all right here. Everything you need to know is right here, and it's like that. I get a lot out of just listening to a little bit of what one of your workshops, and so your wisdom is carried far, and this world is definitely shifting, and it can be really scary, but I think that there are other forces also involved that will be there to assist, and love is what's going to come, from all our hearts, because that's where things things sometimes have to get hard before people open up and reach out. But I'm really happy for my opportunity, in this venture, because this is definitely a way that I can serve.
Do you see a way with this that you can expand on the knowledge through spirituality using the process?
Yes, I do. I think that's the reason why, because I started on the other end of it, more in the ethereal world, and learning more about, in the metaphysical types of things, but they were talking about the same things, about the way, just about the way everything's a part of everything, the electrons and atoms and the nucleus of atoms, like the sun, and it's like a microcosm of the macrocosm, and as above, so below, or as, and so those types of things are have always been symbols and signposts kind of along the way as we're evolving beings, and I believe in that we are actually stepping up to the next place. Not that this is actually, like, I'm looking forward to this, not for the horrible things. I know that we need a shift, we need something, and so I believe this is the answer, and I know that plasma is the key essence to any crystals, and using those things types of things together and learning how to flow that light and our own light connected to so I'm seeing so many symbols in all of that I've learned in this science, and it's bringing back to me what I believe is the ancient science knowledge that was given long ago. And if we can carry this new wisdom with wisdom, this knowledge with wisdom, not knowledge by itself, it's nothing but with the wisdom, then it is given in a way that will support and let them carry us into our next step. In that way, I'm looking forward to it. I think that good things are happening. So many people are so brilliantly, they're waking up, and it's like this download of information is just our minds, our brains are smarter, more brilliant, catching on to things, and being able to harness, energy just from plants and the earth and the sun instead of like consuming and digging, killing the forest and all of that, So we all already know all that, and that's what we're doing here. And I'm just really happy to meet this family of scientists. That I'm part of a group that Mike Nash has started called How to Create Your Own Energy in Your Home, and he's kind of giving me the reins a little bit to help people, which I'm really surprised I can answer some questions correctly about certain processes. But I'm always using Nano-Nate, Master Nano-Nate. He's a great guy, and he's making some slideshows, just caustic sodas, ways to make specific things. And now we're learning specifics, like I'd like you to maybe, if you could, there's time to explain a little bit about the flood and the drops of flood, because I was hesitant to do that process, and I was feeling fast and prepare myself, but I accidentally cut my finger while I was doing something on the metal, so I went ahead and hurried and made the caustic with some herbs and things that were healing. But then I learned that I really felt this anyway, that I would just be using it for myself because we haven't had it. But what's your input on that? Remember you talking about that one